The message arrived while the kettle screamed. Start packing. The house has been sold. No greeting, no hesitation, just a period at the end, like a door closing. I turned the stove off, let the silence settle. The house breathed around me. Oak floors, framed photos, the faint smell of his cologne still clinging to the curtains. I didn't cry. I smiled. It surprised me how easy that was. Grief had already taught me restraint. When I became a widow, I learned what people hear when a man dies. They hear opportunity. They hear vacancy. They hear weakness. I let them. I didn't mention the pension. I didn't mention the Spanish place by the sea. I didn't mention the trust. I didn't mention the clause my husband insisted on years ago after a quiet argument that ended with him saying, "If anything happens to me, make sure you never have to beg." I nodded then. I remembered now. My son learned cruelty early, but not from me. He learned it from watching how people lean forward when they think they're entitled to something. He learned it from his wife's parents, who spoke in polite knives. He learned it from money. We used to be close. That's the part that still cuts, if I let it. He was small once, slept with his hand on my wrist, as if checking my pulse. He called every Sunday. He said he worried about me. That changed after the funeral. The calls grew shorter, the pauses longer. He started asking questions that wore smiles. Did Dad leave paperwork? Are you managing the bills? Do you need help? I said no. I said I was fine. I said I was tired. I watched him watch the house. The first sign was a real estate flyer left on the counter, not addressed, just there. The second was a casual remark at dinner. Big places are hard to maintain alone. The third was a lawyer's name slipped into conversation like a recommendation for a dentist. I said nothing. The proof came by accident, a reflection in a dark phone screen as he typed, a text preview flashing a sentence he didn't know I could read. Once we get the title transferred. I excused myself, locked the bathroom door, sat on the edge of the tub and breathed until my hands stopped shaking. Control is not the absence of feeling, it's choosing where to place it. That night, I made lists. I didn't confront him. I didn't warn him. I didn't cry into anyone's shoulder. I planned. First, legal. I reviewed the will, then the codicil, then the trust documents my husband and I signed after Spain. The house was in my name, always had been. The trust named beneficiaries, but not the way my son assumed. There were conditions, there were timelines, there was discretion. Second, financial. I called the pension office, verified amounts, adjusted distributions, quietly redirected payments to an account my son didn't know existed. I met with an advisor who didn't ask unnecessary questions and charged for silence. Third, emotional. I became smaller, quieter. I let my son feel large. I let him believe his certainty was competence. I thanked him for helping. I asked him to explain things I already understood. Men relax when they think they're teaching. Fourth, social. I invited his wife's parents for tea. I listened. I repeated nothing. I noted everything. I learned who pushed, who bragged, who needed an audience. I placed a few well-timed compliments like breadcrumbs. Then I waited. The sale message came faster than I expected. Confidence accelerates mistakes. I replied with a single word, okay. That afternoon, I met my lawyer. We filed an injunction. We filed a notice of fraud. We filed a complaint with the broker whose signature appeared on documents he never should have touched. We CC'd the right people. We attached receipts. By evening, the sale was frozen. The confrontation happened 2 days later, in my living room. He stood where his father used to stand, chest forward, jaw set. He spoke like a manager correcting an employee. "You can't do this," he said. "It's already done." I handed him a folder. He opened it. Color drained from his face in precise stages. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I explained the trust, the conditions, the dates. I explained that attempting to sell property not in his name had consequences. I explained that the pension was mine, entirely. I explained Spain, the house, the rental income,
the deed he'd never seen. Then I explained the final thing, the clause. If a beneficiary attempted to coerce, defraud, or dispossess the primary holder, their share dissolved, redirected to charity, immediately. He laughed once. It sounded broken. "You wouldn't," he said. I slid the final page across the table. Signed, stamped, effective. The room went quiet. Not dramatic quiet, administrative quiet. He left without another word. I didn't feel triumph. I felt alignment, like something inside me clicked back into place. Now the house is mine. The pension arrives like clockwork. Spain waits, sunlit and patient.